Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. The quest to qualify for the Olympic Games right now have started with Nigerian athletes, as we have one of our own talking about Ukpeseraye right now. He has qualified for the 2024 Olympics that will be coming up in Paris. That's the first story we'll be looking at, as she was able to do well there. Cycling road race. Nigerian Cyclist Ukpeseraye qualified for 2024 Paris Olympics, as she did well over there in Ghana. And right now, Nigerians are happy that yes, it has started. And hopefully this lady will get all it takes to get herself prepared ahead of this competition that will be coming up in Paris, France in 2024. I have Ikena Okonkwo in the studio. Good to have you.
Thank you so much, Lenny, once again.
Yes, you have Ukpeseraye there, being able to qualify. And the good thing right now is that the Federation are saying they will do everything possible with the support of the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport Development to get this lady to South Africa and also Europe for her to get prepared ahead of this competition that will be coming on in 2024. She needs to have go out there, compete against the world best at the World Cycling Center over there in Europe and also in South Africa, for her to at least prepare herself ahead of this competition.
Yeah, it's a good thing. You know, in Nigeria, one of the things that try to hamper the athlete's performance at the big stage is this preparation thing. I do hope that the federal government, because Olympics is a of any international competition anywhere in the world. So it's a stage that to pick the ticket is not easy. Then to go there and make meaningful impact.
It's not easy. So be on the podium.
It's more difficult, actually. So, and cycling is not a sport that Nigeria is known for as such. So the young lady needs a lot of encouragement. She needs a lot of support. The ministries adopt an athlete initiative. Probably should this lady should be considered for that, because that's one of the things that helped our athlete to, up performance at the Olympics that that passed, and then the Commonwealth Games it paid off the more. So she needs to be adopted as soon as possible, so that she won't be waiting for when federal government will do their quick fire thing. That quick fire thing does not help.
So
we have seen it over the years. What you are
saying now, Ukpeseraye should be adopted, because that particular adopt an athlete, it will help her to get training facility.
Funding is about funding. To go for competitions that will up her performance. She will keep getting experience. She will keep being exposed. So any tournament she will be there. She wouldn't need to wait for the usual training that will happen here. Like the coach said, in South Africa, she will go there. In another country or other
Europe,
she will be able to, expose herself the more. So there is need for this to happen immediately, because this funding is the major thing about preparing an athlete for any competition, especially as it has to do with this major one coming up next year, Paris 2024.
Well, from the way it is, we're celebrating Ukpeseraye there for the fact that she has been able to do it over there in Ghana, qualifying for cycling in road race. And we hope that the necessary funds she needs to get herself prepared ahead of the Olympics coming up in Paris will be at least available for her to compete. And we are still expecting more Nigerian athletes to begin to at least run around when it comes to competing at the Olympic Games to qualify. Good luck to Ukpeseraye there qualifying for the Olympics. And away from that, let's talk about football. Well, some teams didn't play yesterday in their midweek matches, and now we have about 4 teams that will be fighting for honors. Aqua United, Heartland Queens to face Gombe United and Nigeria Tels in their match on Thursday. As we speak right now, those matches should be ongoing. Aqua United versus Gombe United, and you have Heartland Queens to be facing Nigeria Tels in their game also, as they'll be fighting to see who will win their own game in this encounter.
Yeah, so it's a continuation of what happened the day before. Now, in terms of when you talk about local league, both men and women in Nigeria. So the teams will be hoping to grab as much points as possible, and anyone that drops at this point, because the first phase is gradually, winding out. Yes, so any team that drop point at this time will have itself, to blame. And just like it should be that if you get points, you keep advancing your opportunities to play at the bigger stage, which is the Super 6.
Now, so far for you, the MPFL and the NWFL this season, let me see your rate.
Well, it's the only area I'm looking at is the refereeing, the officiating department, which used to be very, very horrible.
But I think it's getting better.
It's getting better by the day. One of the standouts for me is the quick approach that the officials, I mean the NFF and of course IMC and those that are managing the Women League, the quick attitude or approach they have adopted in terms of trying to look into any refereeing issue that comes up. I mean, it's not like they will leave it till the end of season or the end of the particular phase, like this first phase. So they just deal with it immediately the next day, the 2 days time and all. So we get to see what's happening immediately, and the referees are meant to, face the music. Those that didn't really do anything, they will continue and be given a warning. I mean, for those that didn't do so much of an infringement on the game. So it's a good thing that the refereeing angle is getting better. I also had, was it yesterday also, that the issue of TV for MPFL, Nigeria, they say Premier, not professional now, Premier Football League, is coming up. There will be an arrangement for more TV broadcasts.
That would be very nice. At least it will curb or issue of bad officiating.
Yeah, so
people will be aware that okay, people are watching.
Yes,
people are watching.
People are watching. I mean, all over the world, all over the continent, and of course all over the country. So they get to be more careful. I mean, the referees as well, every other person, the conduct and all. So look at the kind of slamming that Bayelsa got recently for having their fan misbehave. I mean, 3 points out in this kind of competition.
Tough, very tough.
Very tough and
league.
Close, one at that. So you don't want to lose even 1 point than when you lose that 3 points and you are meant to pay millions of naira for breaches. So it's one that every club wants to be out to do what is necessary. Every person involved will also want to do what is good, and we get to see more matches on the TV. Unlike maybe 1 or 2 in a week, we get to see maybe up to 4 or 5, which makes sense.
That shows really MPFL, and I just hope that as they are doing that for MPFL, they just remember the ladies too, because their league has been performing so excellently well, but just that they need that attention that we always give to men. Because if you see the ladies playing, you'll be wondering, wow, these are girls are really running around and doing so well when it comes to football. But now, the final rating I want to hear from you, is it 4/10 or 6/10 for MPFL?
Well, for now, we could still allow this phase to finish. You understand? Then we enter second phase, and then for me, it's still too early somehow, because what happens in Nigeria is usually not how things start.
How it ends.
It's actually how it ends or how it continues. So I don't have any rating for now until we see what happens.
By the time they end the league?
By the time at least the second stanza had advanced, we'll look at it and then see what they have been able to do.
Okay, we've just been talking about the MPFL matches, also rather match that is actually slated, and that match is ongoing. Akwa United actually hosting Gombe United. Atlant Queens are also fighting hard in that game they'll be playing against Nigeria Tels. Those are the games actually slated, and we're giving you a talk on them. Well, MPFL, Nigerian Premier League, and also Nigerian Women Football League getting better, and we just continue to make sure we do it better. It can be better than this. After all, in the 80s, 70s, 80s, we saw how our league was so strong that you don't even bother about the foreign league. So right now, we can get back to that particular style of football development in Nigeria. Now, away from there, let's quickly look at fixtures of matches over there in Europe. We talk about the Europa League, the second tier of UEFA League over there. Matches will be coming up. A lot of matches across different stadia in Europe. Let's look at those fixtures quickly. Ajax will be facing Union Berlin of Germany. Ajax actually play in the Eredivisie in Netherlands. Barcelona from Spanish La Liga against Manchester United. What a match. AS Roma from Italy, they go straight to Austria to face Red Bull Salzburg. Shakhtar Donetsk from Ukraine against Rennes of France. Bayer Leverkusen will be at home against Monaco, also of France. And you have Juventus, the old ladies, against Moses Simon's team, Nantes of France. A lot of French team in this particular league. PSV Eindhoven from Eredivisie also be playing away to Sevilla, who are really struggling this season when it comes to La Liga performance. Sevilla will be at home against PSV. You have Sporting Lisbon of Portugal also hosting FC Midtjylland of Denmark. What a match that will be coming up there. But our focus will be on Barcelona, Manchester United. Ikena, look at this game. It's like my mind is off from Europa League. I'm actually thinking it was Champions League.
Because of the caliber of clubs that are
Two
involved.
teams, you know. But what's a way of football? These two teams are known for UEFA Champions League, but right now they are fighting for Europa League.
Yeah, so what matters is that the football is still on. It's a Thursday football, even though, but it's the quality of the clubs that we'll be looking at right now, not necessarily the league they are, participating. The teams, I mean, the clubs involved, it's going to be a cracker thing. I do hope that they will, especially Manchester. My heart is with Manchester United, even though I'm not a fan of the club. But I would want them to show the stuff they've got, because Barcelona right now seem to have hit form to an extent, and the Man U, they are not doing badly, especially at the local scene. I mean, in the EPL, where they are also doing good since after the World Cup. They have been winning their matches. The worst being that maybe they get a draw once in a while. So this particular encounter today is going to show how ready they are to return to where they used to be, either sides. Because after this season, hopefully, both sides will find themselves back to where they used to be in the Champions League. And we'll only wait to see the outcome, with believing that it's going to be good.
But if you look at the two teams, Barcelona, they are topping in La Liga. Manchester City actually stand third in EPL. Yeah. And both teams seem to, just like you said, Xavi and Erik ten Hag seems to have gotten the groove back for both teams, Manchester United, Barcelona. Now, the Blaugrana hosting this game at home against Manchester United. That will give them maybe a little advantage, but that doesn't mean in football you cannot be defeated in your home. But I look at these two matches, rather this particular match, these two clubs, it seems to be a kind of a balanced game, because both of them, they have good coaches, they have the two teams are rejuvenated. Everything seems to be going well for the two teams.
Yes, exactly. So that's why I said it's a match that is too close to call. If anyone is betting it or trying to predict what will happen, you could just be taking a risk, just to say that this is where your heart is. But that for you to say that for sure you get what you are predicted, it may not just turn out to, because what will really count in this game, like you also partly said, is how the coach or any of the coaches is able to,
turn things around.
Bring a formation, or as the game progresses, how he's able to also
read the game, and who is he bringing in, who is this,
and other things, moving people from one position to. So it's how the only thing that will make difference in this match is that any of these coaches, comes up with a better, path. But I believe that the game may most likely end in a draw.
But that draw, will it going to be a stalemate, or there will be goals?
No, there should be goals. There should be goals.
Okay, like 1-1 or 2-2.
A
tough match there between Barcelona versus Manchester United in the Europa League. What's the way to see the two teams right now fighting the second tier of a UEFA competition? But, they are both doing well in their league, talking about league competition, talking about Premier League and also La Liga. They've also transferred that to the Europa League and see what they'll be offering themselves tonight. Big match between Xavi and his boys versus Manchester United, where Erik ten Hag actually called the shot. Sport, giving you all those particular fixtures there. Let's look at the third tier of Europa League Conference. Europa League Conference, the third tier of UEFA competition, and they will also be playing tonight. Let's look at the fixtures there. Bodo Glimt, they'll be facing Lech Poznan, a team from Poland. Gent from Belgium against Karabakh of Azerbaijan. Sporting Braga of Portugal against Fiorentina from Italy. FC Basel, well, that's a Swiss team against Trabzonspor. What a way to go. Our hearts still go out to the families who lost their loved one over there in Turkey. And right now, Larnaca will be playing against the Dnipro. Lazio versus several club Cluj. You have Ludogorets Razgrad from Romania there, rather Bulgaria. They'll be fighting against Anderlecht of Belgium, while Tiraspol also be hosting Partizan Belgrade. Those are the big ones, Serbia teams, and also not forgetting the fact that these teams, some of them actually sounds unknown, but they are giant killers. If you look at these particular fixtures, maybe Lazio, Ghent, Partizan Belgrade in their league, who actually Fiorentina, Basel, topping tables or among the top three and all that. But this is the third tier of UEFA competition, and the Europa Conference also comes up on Thursday, a big one there.
Yeah. So, well, looking at the fixtures, we couldn't find any club from EPL. So it goes to show how those clubs, Leicester, couldn't make it past the group stage. So it shows,
it shows that the teams from other side of Europe are stronger in this league.
And because that the teams in the EPL probably didn't take this league
too serious.
Or they underrated.
Taking serious, but
they underrated probably the teams. Or the clubs that they faced at the other phase.
Group stage.
So it's quite not too distinct for them, even though it's a lower UEFA league.
That's the top tier.
Yeah,
you notice in that particular fixture, you see a lot of teams from the Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
You see a lot of teams from the Middle Park. That's a lot of them coming from Czech Republic, coming from Cyprus. In fact, they have some Bulgaria. You have from Norway. You have from Belgium. They have Anderlecht and Ghent there.
Yeah.
Fiorentina from Italy. That's the only team left there. Poland, Lech Poznan. You have Larnaca from Cyprus. You have Dnipro there. All of them fighting. Trabzonspor from Turkey.
No other team was also from Spain as well at this stage.
In fact, you have from Azerbaijan. Okay. Karabakh is from Azerbaijan, and you look at Sporting Braga from Portugal.
Exactly. So these other countries that they are not really the powerhouse in European football.
They are the ones that are taking this one very serious.
Yes, they are the ones taking this level serious. They want to see what they will get out of it, and of course answer Europe champions. What matters is that you are a champion.
After all, Mourinho has won the Champions League, the Europa Cup, and also this one
with different clubs.
Yes, Roma, he has done it. He has really done well for when it comes to Europa competition.
When others are coming out to say we are Europe champions or European champions, you also come out and say, I'm a European champion.
I won it.
I won it.
Europa League,
so if you want to start defining which of these, that's your own cup of
Good one there, talking about Europa Conference League, the third tier of UEFA competitions there. You also see French teams also performing so well in the Europa League. Now, quickly, let's run through some transfer gossip as we give you those stories there. Chelsea and PSG are in talks over a move for Neymar. They want to see where El Khalefi and Todd Bowley are already talking to see how they can get the 31-year-old Brazilian flamboyant player to Chelsea. Well, if this happens, we'll see what is going to be adding up to the Blues there. And quickly, Arsenal are monitoring Manchester United forward, talking about Marcus Rashford. They are looking at his situation over there in Manchester United. Maybe they can actually get him to London.
So how do they think that at this stage, Man U will leave this man?
But they are looking
now that he has his form.
PSG are also trailing him. PSG are also watching.
Well, it's good to dream dreams, but I don't see a Ten Hag, hanging off this young man.
After all, he has taken over since Ronaldo left.
He seems to be one of the very good shining light in terms of scoring goals. He scores in virtually every match, including the one that, I believe that even today, he will probably want to also show that
against Barcelona.
Yeah, they will also want to start looking for him, because the guy, the way he scores goals, he just do it slippery, and then somewhat easily, and he gets it going. So it's Arsenal, they are just trying their luck. There's nothing, I believe, nothing
that they will do to get this guy out of Old Trafford.
To leave this man at this time.
Well, we wait to see if that. Anything can happen in the world of football. You never can say. Never say.
Not for this. I can even bet anything. Not for this.
Okay. Well, from there, let's talk about Barcelona right now. Agreeing a deal with Los Angeles. That is LA Galaxy there, for a player called Araujo. Well, Julian Araujo until June 2026. They have agreed that deal there. Barcelona, the what they call Barca in a short form, they agrees deal with LA Galaxy to sign Mexico right back. He's a defender. Julian Araujo right now. Good one for him. He will be going straight to the new camp to play football.
It's a good improvement, a good stuff for his career, because living
US to Spain, not even to any other club, Barcelona.
So it's something he probably had dreamed before, and being that they have monitored him to see that he's doing pretty well where he's coming from, and he will add so much value to what they are looking for. Because of course the coach Xavi at the moment would be seeing that probably there is a leakage, or that the person that is there is needs a replacement, and then probably they will gradually use this man to Araujo. That name looking a little African, but I don't know.
Mexican, Spanish, and all that. But really, for Julian, you just have to appreciate the fact that Barcelona sported well getting that particular right back player there. Now, a former coach of Tottenham Hotspur could be going back to that club from the way it is right now, because the current coach Antonio Conte is having a lot of crisis, a lot of pressure on him right now. Talking about Mauricio Pochettino could return as Tottenham manager to replace under pressure Antonio Conte.
Well, it's a club that he stayed, though he didn't win anything with them, but he was able to keep them on a stabilize
that team.
Stable place. Not even in the Champions League as such. Sometimes they slip in that position and then they slip out, but they were in that top 6, top 7 at the end of the season, for some number of seasons. It's not going to be a bad deal, but it's also not, for me, how do I want to put it now, something progressive for that club, because the club actually need to move, considering the caliber of players they have, the likes of Kane, Son. Well, they don't have so many big stars, but the strikers they have could compete in any club. Maybe they find themselves at any time, though they are gradually aging. But the summary of it is that the club needed someone who would be more ambitious in terms of Champions League places, and possibly winning the league. Who says they can't do that?
It is very possible.
Very possible.
We're talking about Tottenham Hotspur there. They could be going back to their former manager, Mauricio Pochettino, who right now will be moving in over there in London. Let's talk about a young lad, talking about Kendry Pies, an Ecuadorian player right now, where about 6 clubs are fighting for his signature. Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Man United, and Newcastle are keen on Ecuadorian Independiente del Valle midfielder Kendry Pies. Just 16-year-old boy, and right now it must be so fantastic that these clubs are really fighting to get his signature. What a way to get Ecuadorian player. Yeah,
so it's a future player. Any club that gets him will get someone that they will look at, given a long contract of nothing less than 4 or 5 years. These days you see clubs giving players up to 7,
Chelsea.
8. So it's a player for the future for any club that gets him, and in any of these clubs,
they are capable.
They are capable of getting him. They are clubs that are having billionaires as owners. So it's a good one for his career as well, and it's a good one for any club they will join, considering what he might do in the future.
Well, they'll be fighting for him now, talking about all these clubs, and we look at what will Kendrick Price be adding to all these clubs that will be fighting for his signature there. Just giving you update in the world of sport with Ikena Okonkwo. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Adeni, for the privilege once again.
Yes, I am Adeni Ajishafe. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.